Oh, all right, here we go. All righty, Professor, here we go. It's Coach Brooks. It's about it's 9:49. We just wrapped up day 13 of fall camp. I've been in the facility since about 6:30 a.m. Man, I still got kickoff stuff and practice scripts on me, but I'm not gonna lie to you, Professor, man. I wasn't. I took a look, saw my grade was gonna be if I didn't do this one. I didn't like what it was at, so I'm here, but I'm dog tired. I got my lesson plans going, got the YouTube uploading, so here we go. So it's Coach Brooks. Today, my lesson plan is the unit is in flag football, right? So a few weeks back, I previewed how students would catch the ball. Now I'm gonna go over how students would throw the ball, how they would pass it to one another. So first things first, right? I'd have students come in. Again, what kind of equipment do we need? I need, right? We're going to need at least 20 football, not at least, but we're going to need, a good, decent amount of footballs. If we're saying that the class is 40 students, I'd like, every pair to have a football at least. We're going to need cones for making drill areas. We're going to need, a football field or a large space, and we're going to need a whistle, which is in my office right now. I'm done with that for today. Um, so I'd have students come in. First thing that we do, right, we warm the body up, we jog around, right? So I start them off with a light little jog. After that, we work into some dynamic stretching, especially if we're getting to throw the football, when our shoulders will be warm. So we're getting some arm circles, a bunch of different stretches of that nature. So some cues I would have, right, like a light jog, stay within the cones, like keep moving, like stretch gently. I want you to feel it, but I don't want it to feel like a pull. Warm it up like a car on a rainy day or on a cold day, snowy day in the winter, right? Warm the body up. Let's get the body ready for movements. Let's see, some drills, right? So I'd have us start off with some agility drills, right? So I'd set the cones out. I'd have jump ropes out again, warming those shoulders up, getting the heart rate going. So I'd have different cones set up, students be running back and forth from. We go into some strength drills, right? Engage our core so we can go into some planks, go on some crunches. Warming up the core is a great way to warm the body up. Also getting some speed drills, right? So I'd have them going to some A skips, going back that way. We'd be in lines, right? If I got 40 students, I'd have 8 lines or five. 8 lines of 5 is probably better. So we're going through, we're getting our jaw warming up, we're getting our B skips going, we're getting our Super Marios going, we're warming the body up. Let's see, side shuffles, sprint build-ups, right? So I know where everyone's completely warm, we're going to be okay. 1 second, let me grab a ball. Let's see. Here we go. A good ball for you, Bemidji State, huh? So I'd start us off, right, with a partner toss. So I assume, right, I'm not teaching athletes, I'm teaching a high school football class, so I'd have to assume that they don't know anything about football, right? So I'd explain to them, the laces are for grip. I'd show them, how different people like to use. I'm sure the kids that get in try to throw it here, so I tell them, like, no, we want sort of like our last 2 to last 3 fingers on the laces. We want a nice firm grip on the football, right? So if I'm throwing it down like that, it's not going to come out of my hand. We'd be focused on grip, stance, and release, right? So for our stance, I'd have us, facing our feet facing one way, but our head facing another, right? Feet about shoulder width apart. Nice firm grip on the ball, right? And a couple cues or a couple things I tell them about how we want to throw the ball. I felt like, high school students might find funny or they might remember. So what we're going to first do, we're going to wipe the windshield. We're going to elbow our brother, and we're going to flick the booger, right? So you put all that stuff together, it sort of, it sort of meshes right in with how you would want to throw a football. So we'd be on that. So I'd pair students up, spread them out. I'd set up cones, for targets of that nature. Grip the ball with our fingers, not our palms. We want to step into our throw, right? So step into it as opposed to away from it. Let's see, we want to follow through with our wrists. So those are just some cues I'd like to tell my students. We progress from that, right, to throwing on the move. Once I feel like my students, have got, a base understanding of how to throw, right? So now we could, throw on the move. We can go side, we can go forward, down around. You see all these quarterbacks make these off-platform throws. So we work on throwing on the run a little bit. Again, all this is potentially leading up, right? So we're catching, throwing the ball, stance and start, route running, leading us up and progressing so we can play a whole game of football. So again, that's why I do want to incorporate throwing on the move there. Let's see. So we'd have small-sided games focused on passing accuracy and distance. Again, like I said, setting up those cones, pairing students up in the groups. Let us throw the football around a little bit. I'd at the lesson closure, right, I'd gather students around. I'd have them take a knee. I'd let them know that, this is tough. This is, it's not easy, especially our first time, working with footballs for many of us. I would also, one note, again, I have, women and men, boys and girls, 9th through 12th grade. Not all of them have big hands, right? So I don't expect the women or the girls to play, with the same footballs unless they want to. Hey, we're all inclusive here. If you want to, by any means. But I will say that it should be good maybe to have 10 and 10, smaller footballs where, or even the men, they might have smaller hands, so they'll be able to grip and throw those. So I'll have, wide variety, different sizes of footballs that you could use. I gather them together, let them know, practice takes perfect. We want to focus on our form here. I guess you could demonstrate with our drills, with handy dandy. This guy over here, I'm not going to throw the ball, but, I throw, focus on stepping into it, flicking the wrist. We just did the catching lesson, so we should know how to catch. Now, we'd be able to throw it back. So that's what that would be. Now, Professor, I'm going to transition in this same video, boom, to my lifestyle lesson. So I got to put it down. I don't even want to. I'll put the football down. So transitioning into our lifestyle lesson. I got to add my unit right there. But my unit is basically fitness basics, right? So skill focus will be individual body weight